Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a bracelet today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that I received from Globleland. I'll put a link in the corner of this video and in the description box below to the video I did where I went over all the products that I got from Globleland. And I'll also put a link to their website in the description box below in case you want to make an order with them. I have a coupon code, it's Teresa10, and I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below. That'll save you 10% off your order if you make an order with them. So I already made this one little bracelet with some of the beads that I got. These are 6mm beads that I got in this big box of beads that I got. I think my own camera's doing something weird there. There's 4, 6, and 8mm beads, and I used the ones in this little section here to do the bracelet I'm already made, and I'm going to use some of the ones from this little section here in the bracelet that I'm making today. I'll get it up here and let you see a little bit closer. It's a little right angle weave bracelet, and I know I do a lot of right angle weave, but it's a favorite stitch and it's really versatile. The little tiny little, I've got the other than the 6mm beads, I've got the 2 by 1.5mm rondelles that I got in that same order, and they're in the very center of my embellishment there, and they just give the bracelet a little bit of extra sparkle, and y'all know how I am about sparkle. There's also some in the little, a couple in the little connecting unit I made there. And then I'm going to be using my Miyuki 11-0 galvanized silver seed beads and my 15-0 Miyuki galvanized silver seed beads. I've got a couple of 8-0 galvanized silver seed beads in there I'm going to use when I put my wire guardian on. I've got 2 wire guardians. I've got 4 4mm jump rings and my little clasp that I'm going to use. I'm using a size 12 beading needle. I don't know, you might could use an 11. I'm using 15-0s, but I'm not going through them multiple times. I'm not sure. These little rondelles are very tiny, so it might get tight if you use an 11, but you can try. But I'm going to use a 12. That's what I used with this bracelet. And then I'm using my 8-pound fire line and smoke. And then I'll be using my pliers to put my jump ring, or to put my findings on at the end, and my scissors and my thread burner to cut and burn down my fire line. I think that's everything. I'll put links to everything I'm using in the description box below. These products that I got from Globleland, and then the ones that I'm using from my stash. Everything I can find links for. So hold on, let me get some of this out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, I've got all of my beads out here, and I've got my stop bead, or my needle threaded with a stop bead on, and I'm just leaving about a 6-inch tail, just enough to put a needle on and sew it back in, because I'm going to put my clasp on right away, so I'm not going to need a big long thread to add my clasp later. And I picked up 1 6mm 111-0, 1 6mm 111-0, 1 6mm 111-0, 1 6mm 111-0. So I've got 4 6mm with 11-0s between all of them. And I started with a 6mm, ended with an 11-0. So I'm just going to go back through around all these beads again. Got caught on something on my desk. I'm afraid my desk has got as messy as it was. I put a little bit of order to it. Seems not long ago, but now it's kind of got back into a big mess. That's what always happens with me. So I'm going to sew around all these beads again. And I'm going to go around them another time too. I need this first unit to be really good and tight. going to sew back around till I get past my stop bead. And now I'm going to put my wire guardian on here. I've got my little wire guardian here. I'm going to pick up 2 11-ohs. I forgot to get my 8-oh out of my tray. I need an 8-oh. 2 11-ohs and my 8-oh and my wire guardian. Bring this all down. Now I'm coming out of this 6mm here. That's where my thread's coming out of. I'm going to go around my wire guardian, back into my 8-oh, hold my finger over the wire guardian so the thread will land in the channel. Now I'm going to pick up 2 more 11-ohs, and I'm going to go over here and go into this 6mm bead. Just skip over that 11-oh between them and go into that 6mm bead there. Put my little wire guardian on like that. Now I'm going to sew back around this unit again. Till I get back around here to where I put my clasp on, and I'm going to go around it again. So I'm going to go up those 2 11-ohs and the 8-oh. I think that's where I'm through. And I ended up going through that wire guardian too, but that's fine because that's what I'm wanting to do anyway. Now I'm going to go back down the other channel of my wire guardian, back into the 8-oh. I'll come back down these other 2 11-ohs, back into that 6mm bead. Now I'm going to sew around all this again and go back around my wire guardian one more time. And then I'll be ready to start and put my embellishment on. And while I'll do that off camera and I'll be back. And while I'm gone, I'm going to put a needle on this tail thread and sew it in to get it out of my way. So hold on, I'll be back. Okay, I got my wire guardian on now, and I sewed in my tail thread to get it out of the way. Now I'm coming out of this 6mm bead here where I went through my wire guard last time I went through my wire guardian. I'm going to pick up 3 15-ohs, one of these tiny, teeny, tiny, sparkly little rondelle beads, 1 15-oh, another teeny, tiny, sparkly rondelle bead, and 3 more 15-ohs. So I've got 3 15-ohs, 1 little rondelle, 1 15-oh, another little rondelle, and 3 15-ohs. Now I'm coming out of this 6mm here. I'm going to go diagonally over here and go into this 6mm bead. Put that on there like that. Now I'm going to pull it tight so it'll be nice and neat. Now I'm going to pick up 3 more 15-ohs. One of my tiny little sparkly rondelles. And I'm going to go through turn it around here so I can get to it better. I'm going to go through the 15-oh between those 2 little tiny rondelles. And it's going to take a minute because these beads are very tiny. I'm through that little 15-0 between those two rondelles. Hold my finger on it so it won't get terribly loose and pull my thread through. Now, I don't think well, I went through. No, I didn't. I thought I went through some of those 11-0s, but I didn't because I just wanted to be, 15-0s. I just want to be coming out that 15-0 between the rondelles there. Now I'm going to pick up 3 more 15-0s. Now, a little bitty rondelle and 3 more 15-0s. Okay, now I started coming out this side of this 6mm. I'm going to go on the other side of it. Make sure not to be caught around everything. Pull that down. And that makes my little embellishment there with my little sparkly rondelles. 4 of them in the center of my little embellishment there. I should have picked a different color so it would contrast against those 6mm beads so y'all could see it better, but I thought those would be pretty because they matched them. So now I'm going to sew around here until I'm coming out the 11-0 opposite my wire guardian. Okay, now I'm going to make a little unit to connect my bigger units. So I'm going to pick up 4 11-0s. Coming out of the top of that 11-0, I'm going to go on the bottom of it. Now I'm going to go up the first 11-0 that I just put on. And I'm going to pick up one of my little tiny sparkly rondelles and go into the next 11-0. Now I'm going to pick up an 11-0 and go into the next 11-0. And then I'm going to pick up another little tiny sparkly rondelle and go into the next 11-0 and the connecting 11-0, the one in between my 6mm beads that I started in. And that makes my little unit to connect my bigger units, and I've got a little rondelle on each side corner there. Now I'm going to go into the next 11-0 and that rondelle, and then the next 2 11-0s because I need to be up here at the tip to make my next unit. So now I'm going to make my next unit with my 6mm beads. So I'm going to pick up, I already got one of my 11-0s, so I'm going to pick up a 6mm bead, an 11-0, a 6mm bead, an 11-0, 6mm bead, 11-0, and a 6mm bead. Now I'm coming out of this 11-0, and out of the top of it, I'm going to go on the bottom. Now I'm going to sew around all that again. Let's sew around here and go back through that connecting 11-0 that I started in. I'm going to go up into this 6mm bead. I'm going to turn my unit over here, make sure I'm putting my embellishment on the right side. Now I'm going to pick up 3/15 one little tiny sparkly rondelle bead, 1/15 one more tiny rondelle bead, and 3 more 15-ohs. That's what I got. 3 15-ohs, a rondelle, a 15-oh, a rondelle, and 3 15-ohs. So I'm coming out of this 6mm bead on this side. I'm going to go diagonally into this 6mm bead. Now I'm going to pull that down tight. Now I'm going to pick up 3 more 15-ohs and one little rondelle bead. And I'm going to go into that 15-oh between those 2 little rondelle beads. Hold my finger over it, pull my thread through, and it gets loose when you do this, but when I do the next part it'll tighten up. So now I'm going to pick up one of my little rondelles and 3 more 15-ohs. I started coming out of this side of this 6mm. I'm going to go on this other side of it. I'm going to pull that all tight to make my embellishment neat. So that's what I've got now. So now I'm going to sew around here till I'm coming out of this 11-oh. Here so that I can make my next unit. There, that's what I've got now. I said I know it's hard to see those little rondelles in the center there, but this is kind of loose. I think I'm going to go around this unit again. Probably should have went around it again when I started. Back through this center 11-oh, or the connecting 11-oh. And sew back around here until I'm coming out of the 11-oh. That I need to be coming out of to make my next unit, this one. The one opposite my wire guard in here in my connecting unit. Now I'm going to make another connecting unit here, so I'm going to pick up 4 11-ohs. Coming out of the bottom of that 11-oh, I'm going to go on the top of it. I'm going to go up the first 11-oh that I put on. Pick up one of my little tiny rondelle beads. Go into the next 11-oh. I'm going to pick up an 11-oh. Go into the next 11-oh. Pick up another little tiny rondelle bead. Go into the next 11-oh and the connecting 11-oh. Now I'm going to sew around till I get up here to this tip to make my next unit. I'll go through this 11-oh and my little rondelle bead. Do the 11-oh first and then go through the rondelle bead. And then go through these two 11-ohs to get to the tip here. And now I'm going to make another unit like this, and I'm just going to alternate between these units until I get the length that I want. I'm going to do it the same length I made this other bracelet. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. I did 9 units for this bracelet, and it ends up to be about right at 7.5 inches. So that's what I'm going to do for this one I'm making now. And then when I get to the other end, I'll put my wire guardian on just like I put this one on. And then I'll go ahead and put my clasp on. You all don't need to see me do that. You've seen me do that a bunch of times. So when I get back, I'll be done and we'll see what I've got. So I'll be back. Okay, there are both of my bracelets that I've made using products that I got from Globleland. This is the one I already made, and this is the one I made today. I'll get it up here and show it to you a little closer. I used 1 4mm jump ring to connect this ring side of my toggle, and I used 3 4mm jump rings to connect the bar so that I would have plenty of room for the bar to go through the ring part of the toggle. This is a really easy bracelet to make. It's just those little tiny rondelles you are a little bit challenging to get through sometimes, but and the little 15-ohs, but it's really not hard at all to make. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description box below to the Globleland website in case you just want to make an order with them. And that coupon code will save you 10% off your order if you make an order with them. So I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.